At the source of all life, there is water. On Mars, where it is rare, water is a source of conflict, struggle, and death. Since the turmoil, there have been unending wars, fought over the possession of clean water. We are the forgotten children of Earth, trapped in this red, barren wasteland. Here, hell is not a concept, it's our reality. And the reality is that every drop counts. Then there were the unfortunates, caught in the full power of the sun's radiation, forced to deform, mutate into unrecognizable monsters. The others, the ones who remained similar to our ancestors in likeness, hid under massive metal shells, governed by water corporations. But in the slums, people's lives aren't worth much more than the mutants. And I would know. That's where I spent the first 10 years of my life, under the boot of the Vori. Of course, in despair, there is hope. Some have begun to explore, travel even, from corporation to corporation, leaving their loyalties behind. We have organization, structure, and inevitably, politics. We have rulers, a people's assembly, and far removed from us, the Dowser, the inaccessible face of abundance. And finally, there's us, the elite protectors of the people, the spearhead of the army, my brothers and sisters who all share the same special gift. We are Technomancers.
Ahoy, Zachariah.
Scott, you came.
Wouldn't miss it for the world. Sure, my memory isn't what it... But I remember to write things down on my calendar. Although I do sometimes forget where my calendar is. Anyhow, I knew your last cadet mission was today. Any nerves? If it's any consolation, you look more than fit enough.
No, I'm good. I'm ready.
Yes, healthy flush of the skin, no rapid eye movement. You don't look stressed out. Very well, I won't bother you anymore. Oh, but if I can bother you, just a moment. I recently acquired a batch of materials that can improve your gear. It's not much, but I thought you'd like it. Still can't believe you're going to be an officer soon.
Yeah, me too. Thanks, Scott. Means a lot.
Ah. I fear we've dilly-dallied on pleasantries. Your master, Sean, waits for you in the courtyard. So stiff, that one. I fear his spine is concocted from steel. A spine prosthetic. How interesting. What if... Oh, and stop by the clinic and come shoot the chit-chat. No, it's not... Just don't be a stranger. If you feel ill or need a hand, come see me. I'm always glad to help. Good luck, my boy.
Thank you, Scott. Will do. I promise. Oh, shit.
Zachariah, today, as you know, marks your final mission as a cadet. I trust you are prepared.
Of course, Master. Ready, willing, and able.
And a little nervous. Normal and expected. That's why I have gathered together your usual instructors to allow you to warm up and prepare. It's for you to ace the tests for each fighting technique. Prepare yourself. And once you are ready, join me at the station. From there, a train will take us to the mission site.
Thank you, Master.
If you would like to practice your technomancy techniques or care to do some staff training, I have time.
I'm always honored to learn what you have to teach.
Excellent.
Headed 5
Would you care to fight again?
A little brush up on my technique could never hurt.
Indeed. Remember to attend to your surcharge risk. I would hate to have an accident. Would you care to fight again?
I would love to. Another time, Master. Thank you.
Of course. Keep in mind, a well-trained staff can be quite formidable. And as you know, the control over our technomancy is what makes us unique.
How about a little self-defense training?
Sure, why not?
That's the spirit. Here we go. Care to go again?
Maybe later.
Your call. You're gonna wish you had some good defensive training, though, when you find yourself in trouble.
Want to test your skills with a knife and a gun? Not really in the rule book, so if you do, need to be discreet.
Let's do it.
All right. Go again?
Another time, maybe.
Don't underestimate stealth techniques, or how much faster you can be in combat with light weapons.
Hey, heard from Captain Sean you're heading out to the station. You leaving now?
Yep, already ready.
Paul, stop right there. We're conducting a search.
Look at this piece of shit. Well, what do we have here? Road trash seems lost, don't it? You forget we don't want your kind around here, trash. Move your sorry ass out of here before you find yourself bleeding from both ends. I'm sorry. I didn't. I didn't ask you to speak. Did I? You useless piece of shit. Why would I want to hear what you have to say? Waste of space. Please, I just. Shut your mouth and just fucking die. Your corpse will feed the rats. At least then you'd have a purpose.
Such a waste of life. A waste of space. Am I right? A rogue is a sack, right? You can dress him up, but...
Zachariah, we're leaving. Certain people are graduating to the rank of officer today. It does you well to serve only contempt to one worthy of nothing more. That is good. And with that, we should be off. Look, Zach, we are heading for the dome. It was built by the first settlers, a relic itself.
And what's there for us?
According to reports, looters, who, in our interest, it would be best to keep out of the dome. Zachariah, do you remember your first lesson?
On the scarcity of life?
Indeed, the very one. Kill a fellow unfortunate and, in this hell, only the more alone we will become. Disable the looters, but spare their lives. We encroach our destination. Take note that enemy forces lie in wait. There, the rocky outcrop. Scale it and report back your findings.
There are looters gathered at the dome's entrance. A lot of them. But they're not equipped to be more than a nuisance.
Take care nonetheless, Zachariah. That guard there, separated from his group. Sneak on him and the battle will be easily won. Sometimes I wonder if initiating you is the right thing to do.
What do you mean? Am I not ready?
No, you're ready, Zachariah. With that, there is no doubt. I worry about you and care for your happiness. Once you become a Technomancer, there's no going back. You lose your freedom. From the moment our abilities are brought into the light, to the moment the light is snuffed from our eyes, the Technomancers are nothing but pawns on a chessboard. We have no free will. Abundance forces its will on us. I think about the future. How hard it will become as the ASC rises in power. Or perhaps I'm just being paranoid. Forgive your master's little spell. You must focus on more important things. This door. It is the same as that in our chapel. Accessible only to the combined energies of 2 Technomancers. Here lies the entrance. And beyond, the main room. Where we must go.
For being so old, it's in great condition. What exactly, Master, is inside the dome?
Knowledge, Zach. The very essence of knowledge you can. Creatures do not belong here. Their very presence is a danger to the relics. We must seek out their origin. I remember well the first time I came here. I was fascinated. I really thought I was part of an elite. I've become disillusioned since then. If all this knowledge indeed gives us some sort of power, we are still faced with so many obstacles that we can't do anything with it. It's more of a danger for us than a tool. This is the main room. The console over there. Activate it, and heed its words.
Will do.
Witness registration, March 17th, 2076. Subject 12. The subject appears acclimatized, pulse elevated but steady, unaffected by any visible health concerns. James, how do you feel?
Great! So alive! My heart's racing, and I feel like I can take on the world. And I'm being honest here, it's a bit overwhelming.
Subject self-report is consistent and substantiated with our measurements of human and other subjects, all of whom produce EEGs indicating activity levels acutely higher than any ever associated with a human not subjected to the mutation. The only adverse side effect, it appears, is the near tenfold increase in corporeal and cerebral electricity. Dangerous levels that will necessitate the urgent invention of a device capable of evacuating such surplus in order to avoid subject injury.
This man, talking about technomancy, about mutations, as if... I can't believe.
And yet it still might be so. This recording dates to the first settlers. Speaks of the first Technomancers. Shocking, perhaps? Where did you think our abilities came from? A divine power?
I don't... But we have no physical signs of mutation, and I don't know any mutant that has our gifts.
And why should any of those things matter? Might not our mutation simply be of a different form? This brings us to the most important point. What you have seen unifies us, unifies the Technomancers. This secret must be kept from all other humans. If this information was discovered by, say, the ASC, we would become nothing but slaves. Our situation is already incredibly undesirable. We are not only isolated, but used as human bombs. Take a walk by the mutant pen in the slums one day. That is what our lives could have been. Don't be dismayed. I have been through this as well, so have all the other Technomancer officers in abundance. Knowledge of this revelation makes you one of us now, more so than your skills. But now is time to deal with the creatures infesting the dome. It would be a real shame if the installations here are damaged, for we will no longer be able to hold initiation trials here.
Yes. Yes, of course, Master. I haven't found an opening yet, so... they must have breached lower in the dome.
Then that's where we must go. I will divert the attention of these creatures. At the base of the dome, he will find an entry point. To have swarmed here, they must have dug a passage.
You, who bore witness to the secret with your own eyes, who knows in your heart of hearts that the revelation that he bears is true, and who has understood that this knowledge could cast us into endless pits of despair. As you drink the sap of the world, the water that feeds our lives, abandon the one you thought you were, and instead become our brother, Zachariah Mancer. Together we have shared the water and secret. Can you swear to forever protect the knowledge of the Earth and to dedicate your life to finding it again? To defend and protect our secret, even with the sacrifice of your life, if need be?
I swear.
Then welcome, my brother.
I know you must be troubled by what you've learned, and I assure you that it's no less troubling to me. But be proud of what you are, and know, no matter what, we are by your side. And that this initiation, as horrid as it may be, makes you forever our brother.
You showed the courage of lions beneath the dome, and for it, you have been made an officer. So I imagine, now that you no longer need my guidance, it will send me elsewhere, with the great and endless pride of having been your teacher over these few years.
The honor was mine, Master.
No, not Master. It's just Sean now.
Go. Take your assignment as an officer. Count the blessings you've amounted, those that allowed you to avoid the front thus far. Captain Eliza is waiting in the barracks. She's harsh, but fair. But before you find her, we all know the regulations. Technomancers get no leave from the front in times of war. So being here, I can't even sneeze without a report being written up. But you have a free pass. I need you to go to the exchange district for me. There's an itinerant merchant there who was supposed to arrive yesterday. Just meet with him. The merchants have no ties to abundance and travel among us like shadows. They hear things, whispered things, and pay people to forget they are there. I'm looking for information on any archaeological discoveries that could expose the Earthlings. Information that would help protect our secret. Ask him if they've heard of any such finds.
Yes, Great Master, as you wish.
Good, Zachariah. But take care that not a single soul knows what you're after. Not a single soul can hear your exchange with the merchants.
How are you, Zachariah?
I'm fine, and you?
Good. How may I be of service?
What do you know about Great Master Ian?
A truly great man, instilled with a vision and goal that most likely saved us. Before his arrival, things were simpler in Ophir. The ASC was out here, but by and large, they were little more than a corporate espionage network, disinterested in either the army or us. Of course, we always answered to a chain of command, but it was nothing like what we've experienced since Victor has taken the lead. From the beginning, there was cause for alarm. However, the former Great Master, Brandon, but far too old to have energy enough to lead the charge against our enemies. Ian, though, is inspired. He's inspired us to stand up for our right to freedom, to expand our understanding beyond the simple message we all saw in the dome. Such wisdom and strength are rarely found in one person.
Do you know Sean?
Not as well as you, I am sure. However, from what I can recall as his teacher long ago, he was an idealist, hungry for change, for a world where technomancers wouldn't have to hide their secrets, where they might live normal lives with families and children. But unfortunately, that dream, which might have provoked him to become a catalyst for change, merely left him bitter from the loneliness inherent in our condition. He is lucky to have found such a friend and student in you, and because of that, his leaving for the front will be terribly painful for him.
What are your thoughts on the ASC?
Were I a younger man, I might play it safe. Say I know nothing of them, that they protect us. But age exhausts the desire to continue down such a path. The ASC is a disease that is destroying abundance for the vanity of a single man, Colonel Victor. They're not just our enemies as technomancers. They are also our enemies as citizens of abundance and inhabitants of Ophir. They strangle the freedom of the people under the weight of their own paranoia. To them, everyone is guilty of something. Their sustenance is hatred and fear. And, I fear, a clash with them will one day test our survival.
What do you know about the Technomancers?
For such a specific question, it raises broad answers. I cannot speak of those from Aurora, for instance. I know they have little power there, that they are seen more as guardians than soldiers. But do they know from where their abilities stem? Here, only the initiated know. As you are aware, we keep the youngest of our kind in the dark, fearing the knowledge might be too much for them to bear. That secret, though, once shared, forms a bond like none other, melding us into brothers and sisters, bonding us in spite of Abundance's efforts to keep us apart. It forges solidarity, a concept very dear to me. It defines us, I believe, even more than our powers.
What do you know about the Exchange Quarter?
A strange, almost exotic neighborhood. A haven for merchants who claim no corporation as their home, who bear with them goods and news from beyond our borders, and boggle the mind with their uniqueness. It's refreshing.
You know our chapel very well, don't you?
An ancient place. The remnants of the first domes in the city upon which Ophir was built. Though, admittedly, we know not what they were used for back then. Perhaps a place of worship, perhaps of knowledge or research. One cannot know, as its purpose was adapted and changed to meet the evolving needs of generations of technomancers. Numerous relics and tunnels linking it to the underwork have been added over time.
What can you tell me about the source?
It is the heart of Ophir, and therefore Abundance's. The city's most ancient neighborhood, spotted with the remnants of the original domes. A place of power, as expected, where politicians, military officials, ASC members, and even technomancers mix. Besides our chapel, though, I admit it is not a place I enjoy. I am no diplomat, and in a neighborhood where all that matters is how many there support you at the council, it is not a place for me.
Are you familiar with the Underworks?
I know them, in bits and pieces. People say they extend for untold miles. Subterranean channels forged by water and the claws of creatures so expansive that none have ever explored them all. Beneath the chapel lies a crypt containing the remains of our most distinguished members. But there as well are countless storage areas, shortcuts that elude the less desirable areas of the city, and even places of refuge for the banished and most wretched of our populace.
What can you tell me about the slums?
Besides the underworks, they are the largest part of our city. As its population swelled, so did its buildings, but far too quickly and without proper standards, which now leave its occupants sans adequate safety, urbanism, or even means for sanitation. It is a surprise that many of those buildings have managed to stay standing, and that some contagion has not yet spread.
You must go see her captain right away. She is waiting for you at the barracks. I will be happy to talk about your progress later, but I don't want you to get a penalty early on in your integration.
Goodbye, Sean.
Goodbye, Zach. Be careful.
Zachariah, a pleasure as always. What may I do for you?
What can there be at this excavation site?
For us, now, having not been there? We could only speculate. But should those rumors hold true, there are relics to be had. With those relics comes priceless information, information important enough for them to transport Technomancers in droves to the middle of the desert. It makes you wonder. Have they uncovered traces of the colonists' legendary beacon? If you believe the tales, it could resurrect communication with Earth. For 2 centuries, Technomancers have scoured this planet for this beacon. And for 2 centuries, this beacon has eluded us.
What do we know about these itinerant merchants?
They are unbound by loyalties, flitting from corporation to corporation. Beyond that, I know little more than myths and legends, often difficult to unravel from the truth, like the tales of hidden mountainside villages stashed with their wealth. Never have I encountered another group that despises and envies in such equal proportions, impugned for lack of loyalty or origin to our superior culture, but regarded for the freedom that comes with that. In truth, though, for me it is the information they trade in that bears their greatest source of worth, far more than the trinkets they hawk.
And why, if I may ask, are these relics so important?
Each relic is a breadcrumb that could lead us back to their bygone, yet far more advanced era. We are little more than feral offspring to a once illustrious time filled with scientific and artistic knowledge long since been lost to us. A cultural de-evolution of catastrophic proportions. The value of these relics cannot be overstated. A simple fragment could mean strides forward in knowledge, leaps forward in time, and in the wrong hands, the extinction of our kind.
What do you think of our army?
A question requiring a delicate response indeed. For we are a part of that body. An integral part, perhaps. A vital organ. But still just a part. As such, one may not talk about the whole without impugning the parts, which in truth I am not wont to do. But with that spoken, it is very old. On one hand, good, well-established, the best equipment, disciplined troops, professional. But on the other hand, set in its ways, a double-edged sword indeed. For inflexibility is merely a step from paralysis. An iteration of the old dog's new tricks scenario. And with ranks practically inherited, there hardly exists a culture that encourages hard work or passion among the troops. Why work towards something that's unachievable? And of course, it's less than ideal that there are far too few of our kind among the ranks. Next to Aurora, we're surprisingly deprived in that field. And they're in the process of collecting the laurels of their politics right now.
What can you share about us, the Technomancers?
We are, as you have learned, mutants, Zachariah. But while other mutations form the poor, deformed creatures that we use like commodities, ours has produced within us gifts. Whether this knowledge is shared among the Technomancers of Aurora, I know not. We are all still learning about ourselves. with knowledge segregated from faction to faction, corporation to corporation. Even Aurora conducts experiments that would be of interest to us. We whose gifts have turned us into living weapons. And despite our strengths, despite our role as guardians of knowledge, the last link to the Earth's past, the sole reason the corporations have not yet collapsed, our instability has ensured that any seat of power remains elusive to our kind. But never forget, no matter what our enemies, even those inside Abundance, may think or espouse, they need us. It is not the other way around. We are our own masters, never slaves.
Do you have any insight on Alan Mancer?
Zachariah, listen closely. As much as my heart yearns to spurt vitriol at his name, discretion is the better part of valor. Speak neither ill of the dead nor of those who could make you so. That man is filled with more blind aspiration than sense, easily manipulated by those who know how to flatter him. He would give up everything for the slightest bit of praise. He is the antithesis of you. While you ascended, his weaknesses have kept him from initiation, and he holds it against you. But do not get sucked into his petty games. He is adult, worthy of less attention than contempt.
What can you tell me about the ASC?
There is nothing to learn, officially, because no one talks about them out of fear. Speak of the devil and he shall appear, and all. Silly superstition. But fear drives men as much as serum, I suppose. The true source of their power ultimately stems from their surveillance services. And with the war comes near limitless authorities in such matters. More often than not, authorities are aimed at their own dissenters rather than any deeply tangible threat to our great Mother Abundance. At their core, they are quite simply the most mortal of threats to us. So I would advise you, stay in line, do as you are told, and attract little attention, for it is now a perilous game of survival.
Do you have any wisdom you can share regarding Colonel Victor?
Wisdom or warning? He is a dangerously smart man with an insatiable hunger for power, an unending drive to have us in his pockets. A chess master, I fear, with just enough savvy to find a way to do it, too. Someday.
What can you share with me about the Source?
The center of all Abundance's power in Ophir, each building a symbol of its proper function, with the Source set directly upon an ancient colonist dome that provided the vast bulk of our collection. Fascinating, is it not? Even if vestiges are all that remains of the old dome. To think that there was once a man, exactly where we settled, who had seen Earth with his own eyes, perhaps touched it with his own hands.
What do you know about my barracks?
A perfectly inelegant mix of testosterone and bachelorism. What could I add that you do not know for yourself firsthand? Poor food, worse quarters, but it serves its purpose. Barracks for the Source, no more, no less.
What can you tell me about the exchange quarter?
A melting pot for sure, forging an amalgam of cultures, commodities, and peoples, filled with merchants hawking equal shares of wares and information with such freedom that it gives the impression that it is unburdened by the scrutiny and heavy hand of Abundance's surveillance. An impression that is, in a word, faulty.
What do you know about the Underworks?
Little more than common knowledge. Kilometers of tunnels lined with endless rows of warehouses storing who knows what for who knows whom. Forged in part by man, in part by nature, and in part by the creatures that dwell within them as they extend all the way out to the ancient waterways.
That dome we went to with Master Sean, where did it come from?
A relic of the first colonists. Long forgotten until after the turmoil, discovered upon the building of Ophir's first shadow path, and finally opened as a place of knowledge by one of our own, transformed into a storehouse for knowledge and secret discoveries. until its collapse. So much was lost, but you were not. And if nothing else, I have that to be grateful for. For it is now we need fresh blood more than anything.
Great Master said the caravan would be right here. The stand looks like it's been deserted. I'll question neighboring merchants.
Mr. Mancer, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Big on weaponry, I hope. What can I get you?
I was expecting a caravan in the stall next door to buy a few things.
They arrived yesterday, but truth be told, I think they found some trouble. I wasn't there when it happened, but from what I heard, some people were looking to talk. Then talking turned to shouting, and after that, they were seen down in the slums, I hear, and then they were dragged into some warehouse. Whatever they did, they're in big trouble now. If you're looking to help them, you better find them fast.
Hello?
Hello. Looking for some medicine? Drugs? Ingredients, maybe?
Can you help me? I'm looking for any information on the caravan that sets up in the stall over there.
I don't know. My memory sometimes needs incentive to remember.
How about this? You tell me what you know, or you'll find yourself in a room with others who'll be a little bit more assertive in their efforts to refresh your memory.
All right, already. Fine. I'll tell you what I know, but at great risk to my own ass. You've heard the tale of the Vori, of the underworld. So these overpriced foreign merchants did something to piss them off. Didn't pay their rite of passage or protection serum or something. Whatever the hell it was. They were kidnapped. That's all I know. Where they are, or even if they're still alive, I haven't the damnedest clue. For that, you'll have to ask the Vori. Now do Joe a favor. Take this herb and get the hell out before you raise suspicions.
My boy, I have a favor to ask you. I've lost something.
What'd you lose?
I mentioned one thing. Oh, I am sorry. In fact, it's about a friend. Charles? You remember Charles? No, you can't remember him. Silly me, you never met him. Anyway, Charles is a friend. A scientist co-worker. He was way more successful than I must say. So, he's a friend, and I lost him. It looks like he disappeared, and I am a bit worried. I know that he was doing some sensitive research. Important. Maybe he ran into problems because of that. Anyhow, it's hard to tell.
How do you want me to find him?
He has an assistant. Very nice. She used to make delicious pastries. Unless I'm mixing her up with someone else. Anyway, he had an assistant. I'm pretty sure of it.
I'll go find her. She must know what happened to him, and if she does, it'll turn out the professor is just in a conference somewhere.
Maybe. It's true I don't get invited to conferences as often as I used to. It's rather unfair. I used to love the cocktails they served.
What do you know about the exchange?
I am not really into tourism, you know. I think that it is better to ask someone else if you are looking for specific information on a neighborhood. All I can say is that back when I used to go there, it was a commercial neighborhood.
What can you tell me about the slums?
That's where the true Ophir is. That's where I have my clinic, you know. Of course, you know. I love that neighborhood. It's very lively, and you can find everything a poor doctor needs. Bars, patients.
I can see your interests are very specific.
You're not going to lecture me knowing that you yourself take focus drugs and other crap regularly. And it's too late at my age, anyway.
What do you know about the source?
Bah! What do you want me to say? You know the place better than I think. That's where the political centers are. Your barracks, the Technomancer's chapel, and all those buildings that are our corporation's pride. It is quite a cold place. I must say that it's not my favorite neighborhood. You feel tiny there.
You know Colonel Victor?
That awful man. He looks like he swallowed a lightning rod. Maybe that's the case for all I know.
Scott, you know that everybody says he's dangerous.
Oh, very much so. A man so consumed by ambition and obsessed with power always ends up being dangerous. You mean for me? What do you want him to do with an old crazy man like me?
You know my master Sean well, don't you?
Well, it's a strong word. I know him, of course. I saw him during all those years I came to visit you. We would talk sometimes. He likes you a lot, you know. I think that he has great hopes for you. He's also very bitter. He bears a grudge against our corporation, and I don't know why. I think that it was because of the appointed couple policy imposed upon the Technomancers. He must have had a frustrated love story, that boy. I hope that he did not give you bad ideas. Abundance has shortcomings, but it is up to us to fix them, and it remains undoubtedly the best of all corporations.
Hey there, I'm looking for Charles Seeker. You know where I could find him?
And you are?
Zachariah Mancer. The professor and I have a mutual friend who's worried about him.
I know the feeling. Haven't seen him for days. I'm Veronica Seeker, the professor's assistant. I got a message informing me he had taken an impromptu vacation, but it's not like him. He didn't even like to sleep, said it just wasted time. Even more than likely in the middle of the research he was doing.
Yeah, seems a bit off, doesn't it? Professor was supposed to start some research with a friend of mine as well. I'm sure he'd already started work on it before leaving. You know anything about it?
Of course. I was involved with the professor's research, though I shouldn't discuss it with anyone without his consent. But with that last name, Mancer, I suppose this technomancy research is of particular interest to you. Otherwise, most people barely bat an eye towards the scientific aspects of technomancer powers.
If you're concerned that the message wasn't really from the professor, did you report his disappearance?
To the authorities? Of course not. The authorities, Mr. Mancer, have far more pertinent issues than this, which I am sure will work itself out in time. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Veronica, I know I'm not exactly a prime physical specimen, but I should hope that I am still not so forgettable. Unless I'm wrong and we do not know each other. What is, after all, certain in this life? It might all just be a confounding dream. Like the one I had last night, where, trying to wear my pants as a shirt, I found my nose got caught in the zipper.
Professor Scott. Oh my. Hello. I am so sorry I did not recognize you. You should have told me earlier to save me from this embarrassment. Was it you who was planning the collaboration on the Technomancer research? I'm afraid the professor's vocal railings against the ASC and their ceaseless power grabs might have finally come back to bite him. He would even preach to his colleagues and the listeners at conferences. I would give anything to be wrong, of course, but hope is oftentimes incongruous with reality we must come to face.
Zachariah, could you... Anyway, could I talk to you in private?
What's going on?
I know that I'm asking a lot from you, but I was wondering if maybe you could continue to investigate. You are someone important now. You know a lot of people. They can tell you if Veronica's suspicions are justified.
I could probably talk about it with my captain. Tap into some contacts in the know.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I want to be sure. You see, I think that you need to recover his latest research. I strongly believe that, besides what he said, he found something dangerous. The ASC, they're thugs. We must not allow sensitive scientific research to fall into their hands. The risks are too high.
I'll see what I can do, but I doubt that Veronica will give me Charles's documents willingly. She's very protective of her boss's work.
Sorry, pal. Nobody enters this office if they got no pass.
That right, pal? I'm an officer. and a Technomancer, and I'm here to see Anton Rogue. Think you should let me in.
You even know who Anton Rogue is? He's the big fucking balls here. The boss. I don't care if you're a damn general. Get the hell out of here.
What else?
Show it to me. Alright, fine. You can come in even though you're dressed like... you stole it from one of our guys.
Look what the cat dragged in. The prodigal son. A diamond in the rough risen from poor street trash to the godlike ranks of Technomancer. Now tell me, why am I so lucky to be in your presence?
I'm looking for a caravan of merchants. They were supposed to be in the exchange. Word is they were escorted to the slums, and you may know something about it.
Yeah, rude little men. My town, my streets. Uninvited competition who lack even the common decency to offer a little token of grace in exchange for their presence. If you're ready to settle their debts, I'd be happy to usher them back home.
These merchants were involved in some outside business that requires interrogation as soon as possible. You can either help me find them, or we can always turn our attention towards your business affairs. Your call, Anton.
So either I turn a blind eye, or you do. Fair enough. Very well. Let's be magnanimous and hope that you will be too. You will find your suspects in one of our warehouses. Go see the guards and tell them, he who profits will deserve honor. They will give you the keys. Business is business, and now that ours is done, I will trust in your discretion.
Professor Charles Seeker. I'm looking for what happened to him. What can you tell me?
The dangers of having a mind, of using it, and especially of speaking it, I'm afraid. His research and political opinions push the line, and patience of some. Funny how smart and wise don't always go hand in hand. That said, word is he boarded a train. Not so much a pleasure trip, more like a forced hiatus given the military escort and the colonel's re-education camp he was bound for. No matter the power of the mind, the power of a gun always seems to gain the upper hand in the end, don't you think?
What do you think of our army?
You're a hard one to peg, rogue. Why would you care what I think? But sure, why not? Just a little friendly conversation. Abundance and its generals are like a once vibrant tree that has long since withered away. Its leaves dried up, but still clinging to the branches of memories stretching from the trunk of its faded but glorious past. Strangled by its own ancient and outmoded bureaucracy, all the while Aurora's strength blossoms from the aggressive dynamics of its youth. But I'm sure it will all work itself out in time. If not on the battlefield, then undoubtedly in offices like these, and of our dear Colonel Victor.
What's your opinion of Technomancers?
I'll try to tread lightly with this, Mancer. Unfortunately for Abundance, you're becoming relics, a dying breed, due to the disgraceful misuse of what could very well be one of its greatest, though misspent, assets. On the battlefield alone, for sure, the brute force of you Technomancers is unmatched. And when coupled with the fact that you're the keepers of terrestrial knowledge, it's a combination quite capable of reducing empires to faded memories, isn't it?
What do you know about the Resistance?
Enough to handle my own business unimpeded. We don't think that they are any danger. They're an occasional client when they're in need of weapons or explosives. Their biggest strength comes from how deeply underestimated they are. Ever stepped in a puddle that turned out to be a ditch? Not pleasant.
What about the ASC? What can you tell me?
Nothing you don't already need to know. Little happens that they don't see or hear, and their colonel's control over abundance grows with each passing day. I'm not telling you anything else for free.
What's the deal with the mutant pen?
Well, well. Aren't we just the little inquisitive student today? So eager to learn, so full of questions. Even for mutants, it's unbearably inhuman. Piled into a pen in conditions that I guarantee will, in time, foster revolt. Despite what some profess, they're far from mindless. And thought-fueled with rage is a dangerous, dangerous little thing.
What's the word on the curiosities?
It'd be a nice place if you could scrub away the filth and grime and trash, and somehow diffuse the tensions between the anarchist ASC spies and members of our family that boil over. Other than that, though, a charming place. Seriously, though, the hodgepodge of personalities can run their streets with more blood than those arena brawls they're so fond of, which, I'd imagine, would revel in a Mancer brawler, if you ever wanted to try your hand.
What can you tell me about the exchange?
Lovely place, and the only neighborhood open to outcast merchants and business of all kinds. I'd live there permanently in a heartbeat, if it wasn't for the stranglehold of surveillance that suffocates its streets like a well-placed pillow.
How acquainted are you with the slums?
Well acquainted, as I'm sure you are as well, am I right? You've come a long way from your roots among those pickpockets and thieves who give those streets their dirty little charm. But for those willing to work hard enough to ascend from that filth, there's opportunity to rise. Even to the esteemed and glorious heights of a Technomancer, I hear.
What do you know about the underworks?
A labyrinth of tunnels infested with filthy little beasts. And unless you're simply looking for a place to escape from the lovingly prying eyes of our motherland, it's more just a place of transit and storage than one where you want to plant your roots or even rest your head, unless you're looking to lose it.
I gotta go.
Then go.
Anton Rogue sent me. I need the keys to the building.
Oh yeah? And I'm the Dowser. What, I'm just supposed to believe you? Well, you got the password, so here's the key.
Thanks.
Who are you? You don't look like a guard to me.
Because I'm not. Name's Zachariah Mancer, lieutenant in Ophir. If you're the merchant who got himself kidnapped from the exchange, I'm here to get you out.
I am indeed. Fiorello, master of the caravan. The shadow still protects me. But I doubt you came to help us out of the generosity of spirit. Am I correct in that presumption?
Ian Mancer, great master of the Technomancers, sent me to talk to you.
Ah, I see. Yes. One of my favorite clients. And a man with whom I, indeed, have some information to share. Aurora has discovered a new site, not far from the Shadow Path. A site filled with objects of incredible condition, and even a relic, as rumor has it.
News I'm sure the great master will be glad to hear. You should go now. Get back on the exchange as quick as you can.
I'm not one to dally, Mancer. I'll see you around, I'm sure.
Veronica, I need a favor. I'm looking for access to the professor's compiled research documents. Might be a big help to me.
It's just not my work to share, Zachariah. If he came back, I don't think he'd be too pleased to find out I handed it away. You ever find out what happened to him?
From what I could gather, he was arrested and thrown into the correctional camp. Apparently his criticism of the government was more important to them than his work. Times we live in, I guess.
I don't even know what to... Such a loss. A waste. Maybe his work shouldn't be abandoned. If he's not coming back anytime soon, or at all, and you can do good with it.
Hi, Scott.
Hello, my boy. How are you? Nothing broken, I hope?
Unfortunately, I've received confirmation of what Veronica suspected. Charles was arrested and deported to a camp as a punishment for his comments. I'm sorry, Scott. I did bring back his research, though, since you wanted it.
Thank you, Zachariah. How awful. But what is happening to our dear abundance? We won't beat Aurora if we get rid of our scientists. Anyway, I'll take a look at these documents. No doubt our dear Charles was worried. They're coded. It's funny, it reminds me of the code we used as students, so that the professors wouldn't know about our adventures. All this is a little far away. I'm gonna have to think about it. Thank you, Zach. Thanks again.
Hello, Fiorello.
Ah, our savior is here. It's, wonderful to see you again.
You seem a bit preoccupied. Things not going well?
No, it has. Everything has gone very well because of your efforts. Let's just say that my leave of absence didn't help my business. Don't think I'm not grateful, friend. I appreciate the thought. What can I do for you?
Listen, maybe I can help. What's going on?
You are too kind. I am so deeply indebted to you. Anyway, yes, I am a little worried. More than a little, to be truthful. 2 of my regular clients, after the kidnapping, must have assumed the worst and just left. I haven't heard from them. No one but you, I admit, cared enough to come to look for me. That said, their merchandise is here, but I have no way of telling them I am back without the risk of exposing myself. I don't mean to treat you like my errand boy. I only ask because you offered your help. Anyway, if you could let them know, I could compensate you as well. One of them, I'm sure you know. The barracks quartermaster. The other one is a slums merchant.
You know where the merchant's at?
Of course, of course. If you have a map, I could show you. Bless you, Mancer. 1,000 times over, bless you for all you've done for me.
What kind of merch are we talking about?
Boxes of equipment for your quartermaster. From Alliance.
From Alliance? Our rival corporation?
Just one of the many, like Aurora. But Alliance, being at the cutting edge of military research, clearly has goods your quartermaster is interested in.
And what's the merchant buying?
Mostly exotic ammunition. The kind used for hunting. Different prey require different rounds, from my understanding. The more exotic the prey.
I hear you. Thanks. Who's the girl? She doesn't exactly look like a merchant.
It is a good question. I found her tied up in the warehouse that we were dumped in. The poor thing cannot even remember her own name. Figure she must have family or friends around here, though, so I keep her with me, hoping someone might recognize her. Just banking on luck, though. Maybe as an officer, you might be able to check and see if someone has reported her missing. I'm sure her family would be grateful, as I would.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Officer Mancer. You are a man of endless generosity.
Where'd you find the girl?
We were actually thrown together. When they brought us to that wretched hellhole warehouse, there she was. Tied up, unconscious, tortured, through and through. Whatever she did to get that sort of treatment couldn't have been as bad as all that. So when you arrived to free us, I, in turn, freed her. I always tried to pay a good deed forward. She would have died had I left her behind. Since then, I've asked around the exchange, but nobody seems to know her any more than she knows herself. Perhaps she comes from the slums, somehow betrayed the Vori, stole from them, who knows? But whatever it was, the punishment was brutal. But maybe, as you go around the city, maybe you'll find a way to bring her name back to her.
Can I ask what corporation you're from?
You can ask, but you may be disappointed by the answer. None. My parents were traveling merchants like me. The road is my home. Always has been. Not to take anything away from your corporation. Its technical miracles, beautiful city, and all the rest. But I don't think I could ever settle down. There is freedom in having no ties.
So how does it all work? You merchants trade with each other too, or...?
Our lives would be impossible otherwise. The travel required to collect the vast array of goods we purvey would be impractical, to say the least. For instance, a fellow merchant is traveling to your hydroponic farms as we speak, and is gathering goods that he will swap with me to bring back to Alliance's territory. And there are other merchants who trade goods with me from territories even further away, and on and on and on. We would be at a loss without each other, so we stick together. A big family, in a way.
I can't imagine everything you've seen. How far have you gone?
We can't really leave the Shadow Paths, but those ways connect nearly all the big cities on the planet. That said, my travels usually take me to Junction Complex, Alliance's main city. A place that would surprise you, I should think. Filled with mechanization that the corporation has rather strangely invested so heavily in. I've also been to Shadowland. Its center is far more baroque, and its slums boggle the mind with how far they stretch. But Abundance's explorers, I know, have gone much further than I. To the ends of the planet, I hear. Maybe one day you might join them on an expedition. Experience the world yourself, rather than just hearing of it secondhand.
Rumor is you merchants have a secret city hidden somewhere.
Ah, yes. The cave we open with the utterance of a magic word to protect our troves of treasures. A tale, Mr. Mancer, nothing more. We are merchants. What goods we have, we sell. To buy more goods, which we sell, and so forth and so on. There is no secret in our ways, or treasures hidden in faraway caves.
Look at you. Glad to see you. Can't tell you how much your help was. It is appreciated. Well, things might have worked themselves out in time, but who has time these days? And you sure saved me the hassle. You're a Technomancer?
I am. Zachariah Mancer.
I'm lucky. In name and in life. You Mancers all stick together. Know each other real well, don't you?
Know each other, maybe, but we're scattered between here and the front.
Right. The front. Of course, the front. So, I take it you know where I can find I believe his name is Master Connor?
He's still in town, away from the front, training recruits.
Lucky again. Just what I wanted to hear. Think you might be up to do me a favor?
Either way, I'm here. Tell me what you need.
Simple. To meet Master Connor and relay some information. With your help, of course. Without your help, well, being just a simple merchant, unwelcome outside the exchange, I suppose it'd be a bit harder. If not, impossible. You know as well as I do, a common merchant can't just stroll up to the likes of a master. So, you get me in front of him, and I'll owe you one. How about that?
I'll see what I can do.
And I'll be much obliged.
Zachariah, a pleasure as always. What may I do for you?
I'm looking for Master Connor. Any idea where I can find him?
He headed down to the underworks. Needed to get some supplies from our warehouses. If you're going there, take the elevator near the barracks. Opens up close to the warehouses and will save you some time. It's a real maze down there.
Thanks for the tip. I finally managed to meet the merchants you told me about. It wasn't easy. The mob kidnapped them for serum. I freed them before talking to them.
I'm sure gratitude helped to loosen their lips. So what knowledge was gleaned from such lengths?
Word that Aurora is running large-scale excavations along the shadow paths near our territory, and in the process uncovering important objects, maybe even a relic.
Fascinating. Finds that are no doubt better off in our hands than those of Aurora's Technomancers. Keep those merchants close, Zachariah. Information like that is such a priceless commodity. You are no more free to roam than the rest of us. Of that I have no doubt. But if you find yourself with access to a rover and perhaps find a way to that excavation site and locate the relic, well, you cannot know the value it might hold if brought back to us. It may seem petty. It's a mission for some rusty relic that may or may not even exist. However, if you are able to slip away from Ophir...
I wanted to talk to you about something.
What about?
We're looking for a scientist who disappeared. Name's Charles Seeker. All I found is some of his research. Seems he was studying Technomancers before getting arrested and sent to a camp.
Charles Seeker? Yes, the geneticist. Geneticists pose a risk. Scientific discoveries are always threatening to expose our secrets. Your friend Scott even worked on the same research years ago. Never found out what Scott did or didn't discover, though. He ended up drinking himself into irrelevance. So I stopped worrying. Whatever research you found, make sure no one sees it. Could be our downfall.
Lieutenant Zachariah Manser. What a pleasure.
Hello, sir. I don't think I've had the honor of meeting you before.
Ah, of course. I am Colonel Victor Watcher of the ASC.
Colonel.
At ease, Lieutenant, at ease. Simply came to congratulate you and learn that you become a Technomancer of the highest degree. For a young man from the Rogue family, that's a terrific achievement.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Your road must have been difficult, but you persevered. An outsider who managed to work his way into the ranks of the elite Technomancers. A marvelous story, especially given their secrecy. They've always fascinated me. Do you have any insight as to why they chose to be so insular?
I'm sorry, Colonel, but I don't know what you mean.
What a shame. By coming to you out of friendship and camaraderie, I was hoping that you wouldn't treat me like an outsider, too. All right, then. Back to your duties. But think about what I asked, and we'll see each other again.
Connor, hello.
My dear Zachariah, a pleasure as always to see you, and my gratitude for your help. Now, please, stop calling me Master. You're one of us now. What brings you here?
I met a merchant fresh off the exchange who'd like to meet you.
Strange. Some delivery I'm not expecting, or something else?
He only said he had information to give. Didn't say what, but I thought maybe there was a chance he learned something about some relics during his travels.
Relics are more the great master's field of expertise than mine. I like to stick to molding our young recruits, but come, let us see what this is all about.
Is it really you, Andrew? Can it really be? I hate to disappoint, Master Connor, but I don't die easy. And I have a little too much pride to just let myself be tossed out with the trash. You got some explaining to do.
We did not toss you out with the trash. We just did not know how to help you. Your talents were uncontrollable. So we sent you away, hoping you would forget. But move on.
Hoping I'd forget? When? As 10 years of my life wasted away at the hands of a merchant? I want my goddamn life back, asshole.
I'm so sorry. I don't know how I could make it up to you.
I don't know.
but you can be damn sure I'll think of something. Get out.
Andrew, I cannot tell you how remarkable to see you. Simply remarkable. Pardon me, Zachariah. You cannot know how unexpected this was. Thank you. I must now return to the source.
Hello, Alan.
Zachariah Rogue. They haven't sent you to die at war yet? A damn disappointment.
Does the name Andrew mean anything to you?
A merchant's son whose dreams of technomancy died with him. A case study of someone trying to be greater than he was born to be. A lesson you might want to learn yourself, lest you risk the same ends. A mirror image of you, basically. A loser,